Today's topic is reflex. What is reflex? It is an involuntary response to peripheral nervous stimulation, or it is a mechanism by which sensory impulse is automatically converted into motor effect through involvement of central nervous system. So definition. Then what is reflex arc? It is basically pathway for reflex activity. Consists of afferent limb, center, and efferent limb. Afferent limb consists of a receptor and afferent or sensory nerve. Receptor, as we know, that it is modified nerve ending which receive stimulus and after getting stimulated sends information to the CNS. Afferent neuron carries sensory input from receptor to the center. Afferent neuron enter the CNS via dorsal root or cranial nerve and have their cell bodies in dorsal root ganglia or in the homologous ganglia on the cranial nerves. Center, it is a part of central nervous system, spinal cord or brain. Afferent limb ends and either synapses directly with efferent motor neuron or establishes connection with the efferent neuron via interneurons. Efferent limb consists of efferent or motor nerve and effector organ. Efferent nerve transmit motor impulses from center to the effector organ, like muscle. Effector organ may be in form of muscle or gland. And now important uh, topic is classification of reflexes. It is classified in different ways depending upon the number of synapses, anatomical classification, physiological classification, inborn versus acquired reflexes, and clinical classification. Now detail. First, depending upon the number of synapses. Monosynaptic reflex, disynaptic reflex, and polysynaptic reflex. Now what is monosynaptic reflex? It contains only one synapse. For example, stretch reflex. For example, biceps, triceps, and knee jerk are the stretch reflexes. They are monosynaptic. Disynaptic reflexes have two synapses. One interneuron is placed between afferent and efferent neuron of the reflex arc. Example is inverse stretch reflex. Polysynaptic reflex, more than one interneuron placed between afferent and efferent neuron of the reflex arc. Examples are withdrawal reflex, cross flexor reflex, and cross extensor reflex. Anatomical classification, depending upon the location of a reflex arc center, the reflexes are classified as cortical reflexes, center present in cerebral cortex; cerebellar reflexes, center present in cerebellum; midbrain reflexes, center is in midbrain; bulbar or medullary reflexes, center is medulla; and spinal reflexes, center is spinal. So according to center. Now spinal reflexes, they further classify depending upon the segments involved. So they are known as a segmental reflex, intersegmental reflex, and suprasegmental reflex. Now what is segmental? Efferent neuron begins in the same segment of the spinal cord where afferent neuron ends. So it is known as a segmental. Intersegmental, efferent neuron ends in a segment of spinal cord and afferent neuron begins in some other segment. And in suprasegmental reflex, center for such reflexes lies above the spinal cord. Physiological classification, flexor reflexes and extensor reflexes. Flexor reflexes occur in response to nociceptive stimuli, means painful stimuli, and characterized by flexion of joints. They are known as a withdrawal reflex. Extensor reflexes. Stretch reflexes are extensor reflexes. These are the bases of muscle tone and posture of the body, also known as the anti-gravity reflexes. Inborn versus acquired reflex. Inborn or unconditional reflexes. It presents since birth, do not require any previous learning or training. Example, reflex salivation when any object is kept in mouth. So it is inborn or unconditional reflex. Acquired or conditional reflex develop after birth, acquired after conditioning or training. Example, reflex salivation by sight, smell, thought, or hearing of non-edible substance. Clinical classification, physiological reflexes and pathological reflexes. Physiological reflexes examples are superficial reflexes, deep reflexes, and visceral reflexes. Pathological reflexes are Babinski sign, mass reflex, clonus, and pendular movements. Now detail. Superficial reflex initiated in response to stimulation of receptor on skin. Example is cutaneous reflex. For example, plantar reflexes, abdominal reflexes, cremasteric reflexes, and bulbocavernous reflexes. So they are cutaneous reflexes. And mucous membrane reflexes are corneal, conjunctival, and palatal. Deep reflexes, example is stretch reflex. An example of stretch reflex are knee jerk and ankle jerk. Visceral reflexes elicited from visceral organ. In this reflex, one part of reflex arc is formed by autonomic nerve. Example, carotid sinus reflex, micturition reflex, and oculocardiac reflex. Now pathological reflexes, they are abnormal reflexes. Babinski sign, mass reflex, clonus, and pendular movements. So what is Babinski sign? It is an abnormal plantar reflex. Instead of plantar flexion of great toe, there occurs dorsiflexion of great toe and abduction of small toes. It is known as a fanning out. Also accompanied with flexion of knee and dorsiflexion at ankle joint. Okay. So abnormal plantar response is called extensor plantar or Babinski sign positive. Okay. So instead of plantar flexion, there is a plantar extension. Okay, plantar extension, abnormal plantar response. Okay, so here dorsiflexion of great toe along with fanning out of the toes, abduction of small toes. Importance is Babinski sign positive in upper motor neuron lesion and in the infant. This reflex can be elicited in patient with spinal cord lesion, mass reflex. When skin or any portion in midline is stimulated by gentle pinprick, there is evacuation of bowel and bladder along with flexion of lower limb and sweating of skin below the level of lesion. Okay, so this is mass reflex mainly seen in patient with spinal cord lesion. Significance, patients suffering from spinal cord injuries are particularly trained to elicit mass reflex to evacuate bowel and bladder. Clonus, series of rapid and jerky movement which occur due to involuntary contraction of muscle in response to sudden, rapid and constant stretch. It signifies hyperreflexia and hypertonia associated with increased gamma efferent activity. Clonus is seen in calf muscle. It is known as a ankle clonus, and in quadricep muscles it is known as a patellar clonus. Pendular movements in patient with cerebellar dysfunction while eliciting a tendon jerk, there is a slow oscillatory movement developed instead of brisk movement. Such movements are called pendular movement, which is mainly associated with the hypotonia and lack of restrictive effect. Thank you.